every society. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, you agree. But if that is also the case, do you think that some of the issues in terms of corruption, in terms of antisocial behavior, in terms of insecurity and all of that, in terms of being used as hoodlums here and there, if we had the proper education for our children, we would have trashed all of these issues? Well, save that thought. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, my name is Honorable Edward.
Honorable Edwards, welcome aboard. Let's have your take. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So do I. So talking about child education. What are these children schooling for? Where they cannot afford to get a job in Nigeria. Where there's no job. Where there's no conducive environment for that business school. It doesn't mean the issue is so difficult that, hello? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, please. I can hear you.
You see, if you look at what is happening now, with the rate of poverty in Nigeria alone, you may be opportune to have your child in the school, but I may not be. And you look at what is happening now, kidnapping and all those things. They keep on asking where this is coming from. That is where it's coming from. Because the level of poverty in Nigeria is so difficult for most of the parents to genuinely, I'm not referring to fake. It's only those who are privileged, to sponsor their children through this work, our own tax, that they can sponsor their children to where you pay 1 million, you pay in dollars, and after that they even get job. So to some of us who are not privileged, to sponsor our kids, you see them going out. They will not go to school. They will not. Even if they go to school, they ask your own child. Now, in fact, some of them who are below 4 years, they know that there's no job in Nigeria, so they prefer doing Yahoo, how do you call it?
All right, Honorable. Yeah. Okay, understood. Well, the Honorable, it goes back to what we said in the same question I asked you, where I said, if the education sector were to be fortified, such that the enabling environment is created, such that every child has the right to indeed education, good education, would it curb some of the issues, antisocial issues that we face? But he has come from another angle. The other angle that he added to this would be the place of, what about the dichotomy between the haves and the have-nots? And then he mentioned poverty, right? And all of that. I know that you are not a government official, so it's understood, But then, I'm sure that you are concerned about this because you've seen this happen too, from where you are and as an administrator and all of that. But what would be your salient thoughts to it?
I think the government is definitely responsible for not creating enough opportunity. But on the other hand, in the schools,
yes,
we need to be teaching children life skills. And I think one of the most important life skills that touches on the poverty issue is teaching children entrepreneurship skills.
Entrepreneurship, okay.
Yes,
okay.
And financial skills.
Right.
But Daniel, I'd still like to come back. The individual contribution is very important.
Okay.
If you look at what is, I can give you 2 examples. One that was on your adverts this morning.
Right.
What the Danish embassy is doing.
Right, yeah.
There's an individual that has written a play. And then we look at our Tunde Onukoya.
Right.
The work that he has
done, yeah.
He's an individual. He's not a government.
Right.
And what he's done is resounded throughout the world. You know, there's that little saying that goes, you can make a difference, I can make a difference.
Exactly.
And I would want to hammer on that. Even if it's going to be at government level, if there's an individual who can challenge the government to make a turnaround,
Right.
and to make an impact, we all have to contribute to our own governance.
Right. So civil society organizations, stakeholders, everybody's a stakeholder in that process. Okay. That being said, well, anyways, you can still bring your thoughts in and put that call through. And like I said, it might not just be about the heavy questions. It could also be about the fact that we are felicitating or celebrating with our children on a day like this. I mean, it's May 27, 2024. Even though let me pose it as a question rather. Should celebrating the child be a thing where we need to wait yearly for a May 27 to celebrate?
I don't think so.
Okay, so how much can we celebrate?
Myself, we are celebrating children every single day of our lives.
Every single day.
It's a 24/7.
Oh, 247 thingy. Okay. Yeah. So you heard it already. He has said that celebrating your child should be a 24/7 matter, 24 hours, 7 days matter. And it should not be restricted to just the May 27, and all of that. Well, for you, you've been in Nigeria for quite the longest, right? I would say. As we look forward to a May 29, yeah? What do you think would be some of the expectations for the children or the child in Nigeria today? What do you think could be the expectation? I mean, from all that you've seen going on so far.
My personal experience in the 21 years I've been in Nigeria.
Awesome.
Is that Nigerian parents have very high expectations of their children.
Great.
In my travels, in my involvement in education, in different cultural groups, I think that Nigerians top the list for expectations of their children.
All right, we'll put it back to your thoughts. Take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Duak.
Yeah,
good morning to your guest.
Yes,
yeah. From National State.
Take and be welcome aboard.
I want to once again congratulate our children, and I also want to emphasize once again that our children are going through a lot. Millions of them are out of school. Hundreds of them are in IDP camps, and thousands of them have lost their parents in the hands of the criminals in Nigeria, either from bandits, from kidnappers, from herdsmen crashes. Many of them have lost their parents, and many of them don't have where to stay. When you come to Nasarawa State, you see some children stay under the bridge, and we are calling on the government to continue with more effort. And again, even for some parents who don't have too many children, the economy is so hard for them. They watch their children starve. They watch their children go to bed hungry. Some of them cannot eat more than once in a day, and we are calling on the government to do something. As the prices keep going higher, parents force their children, cry for feeding, and there is nothing to feed them. The government must give them. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. That's more like a clarion call to every stakeholder to the child development process right there, saying, hey, that it's time for us to pick up from where we left off and, make things better. And like you said that you mentioned the fact that this job, this task is not just about the governments, that each and every one of us have a right and a role to play in that regard. And some implications and expectations would cover around empowering children. There's a need to prioritize empowering children because and investing in our children's future. You mentioned that as well, and ensuring access to quality education and allowing them to explore, because it is said that our children have these very vast, large mind. They can explore things. They can even teach us things that we thought that we knew, but we probably didn't see it in the way that they see it and all of that. And there's also a place for healthcare and protection. There's a place for political awareness where, we should nurture political awareness and participation amongst our children. I mean, there's no hidden truth. The fact that, hey, each and every one of us are political beings. In fact, in political science, it's called that everybody's a political animal. So they say, yeah. And because we make decisions, right? We make decisions and all of that. And that makes us political, beings. And then, of course, the need for safeguarding the rights of children is very important. We must indeed adhere to laws that protect our child's rights and addressing the challenges and dangers that our children face on a daily basis. It's very important. The only sad thing is that many Nigerians also believe that when these laws are promulgated, are put into paper, it shouldn't just stop at paper. It should be effected in the system, right? It should also nurture the children and allow for them to enjoy the benefits of these laws. But would you say that one of the ways to rejig the education system, especially when it regards to child growth, would be the need to change our curricula? Because quite a number of persons say that the current curriculum that Nigeria uses may somewhat not be supportive of the child's needs, personal growth and development. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that.
Right.
But then I want to come back to my statement that I've been making all morning.
Okay.
There are schools out there that are adapting and tweaking the Nigerian curriculum to add all these dynamic developments that are happening in the world, to accommodate them.
Okay.
And so it comes back to the individual. You
Back
can't
to the individual.
stand back and say, oh, the government must do something about this. But while they're not doing something about it, I'm also going to fold my hands and do nothing.
Right.
Start doing something. So that eventually who knows, your actions might actually encourage the government to do something more positive.
Okay. Talking about what the government is. Okay.
And we haven't touched on churches,
Yeah.
We are political beings, but we are also spiritual beings.
Yeah.
So the church has a huge responsibility as well.
You mean religious societies,
Yes.
right? Okay, so that's to touch on every other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's talk about just a little bit about the success stories where the Nigerian government's, initiative to increase access to education for all children, resulting in a 20% increase in school enrollment. And that is according to the Ministry of Education in 2022. And then the work of non-profit organizations like Save the Children, providing, healthcare and nutrition to vulnerable children. That is something that we should give a thumbs up to, and we should not take lightly. And then you made mention of the fact that, look, it all boils down to an individual. It's about you and I, because we are the government. Imagine that there were no people like you and I, then there will be no government, because democracy, of course, which we run on, would be government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So we devise the government. We are the ones who make the government. And the call for action also means that we should support organizations working to improve lives of Nigerian children. One of such would also mean to advocate for policies. You mentioned policies as being, some of the very stringent factors, where the government needs to look into and work at to ensuring that, to tweak it a bit. Just like you said, we tweak the Nigerian curriculum just to soothe. The government needs to look into these, tweak a bit, and ensure that we're able to get there. And so that our schools would also make the mark of ranking, in terms of ranking, we would stand, in truth, in terms of ranking, and also solidify ourselves as indeed the giant of Africa. Well, I want to say a big thank you to you, Mr. William Pope. You're the principal of Kia Lakeside Academy in Abuja right here. And thank you for, on short notice, you took the bull by its horn. I'm sure it is for the love of the children, as having been in the system for, you've been in Abuja, Nigeria for about 20-something years. That's a long time, I must say, and all of that. Thank you for stepping into the studio and, of course, having this discourse with us on a very, very crucial day as this. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure.
Right, so we hope
And
to...
thank you for the invitation.
All right, perfect. All right, this is where we call it a close. Thank you to you, Turkinby Hundu, for your thoughts, as well as Honorable Edwards. It's been a delightful moment with you, and I'm hoping that with all of that that's been conversed today, you already know that it is your job as a responsibility. Take it up, and of course, do well to do right by our children, right? My name is Udwak Daniel. Tomorrow is yet another day.